Hi guys, this is Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're having a video with my friend Igor.
Hi.
Hello everybody. So he is same as me, was born in Vladivostok and lived here. So we're going to ask his opinion about life in Russia. Should we go somewhere else? Should we stay in Russia? And I will ask him some questions. So we all understand our current Russian situation, right? And maybe you guys saw like a lot of videos that like people escaping the country, they're moving somewhere else. And I want to ask Igor, maybe some of your friends, and how many of your friends did move abroad or escape Russia in the last 1.5 years?
I think it's like 20% of my friend moved to Argentina, and it's too far from Russia, especially Vladivostok. It's 7,000 kilometers from Moscow. So yeah, it's a lot of guys, like maybe 10, maybe 8, and they prefer Turkey, countries like Turkey, like Georgia, Indonesia, especially Bali. And the most popular for season 2023 is Thailand. So that's the countries. I think the Thailand is the most popular, and me was like that. I moved to Indonesia for 5 months last winter. So I thought about how to stay because the situation is here is not good for men's of Russia because the how it's named mobilization. They
Fighter jets are flying right now above our heads, like they doing it every day.
but it's normal. Vladivostok is like a military point of Russia. Here's like a few warships over there, like 4 or 5 big warships.
So we both have experience living abroad as immigrants. I lived few years in Asia, and how it happens was like back then in 2014 with this whole thing with Crimea started. I already back then had a plan, like I just realized that it's actually not going to be better, so I was thinking like maybe just should go somewhere else and have this experience living abroad. But my life became to a point where I this year have to come back here for good. And I want to ask Igor as well. Like he lived in Moscow, he lived in Bali, he went to Turkey for a long time. So what made you come back here when like we're literally now in Russia when all people are going out from here? We're like only one people who are staying. And what made you to stay here? Even though we can move abroad now, like we both can speak English, we can find job abroad. Like, yeah, do you agree with me?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we can go somewhere else, but right now we're staying here. And what made you come here and stay here for now?
Yeah, it's a frequent question for me here for the last 3 months in Vladivostok. They ask, "Oh, you, what are you doing here? Why you come back?" Really, I'm come back about document things like a citizen status here, and the summer in Vladivostok is very good, especially for August and September. And here's like a cultural point for the summer.
So, do you think like you staying here for documents and it will be just for short time and you thinking to go somewhere when you fix your things here?
When the winter start, I will go somewhere because the winter of the Vladivostok is not good. It's not so cold for the Russia, of course. It's like a minus 20, 25, but it's too windy here and humidity is too high. Sometimes people say what the Vladivostok is a place where the wind come from four directions.
I agree with you. Like summer is like so great time here, and I was also thinking like maybe I stay here until November if I have opportunity. Like for example, if I will do YouTube, like I would go somewhere for the winter as well because like it's too much for me to stay in Russian winter. Before we discussed the possibilities of moving to America in some weird ways, like what are there ways available to move from Russia right now for Russian people, I would not say that it is easy right now because even if you want to go like to America, we don't have even consulates. Like There's so much bureaucracy problems right now. It's not easy to get any visas for Russians right now. So the easy way is to go to Asia. I've been there. I had this experience, and I want to ask Igor, where would you move if you could? Like, what are the simple options for you, and what are the your dream options?
I've been in America, in Washington D.C. and New York. That was opportunity for Russian students to move there for months for the program Work and Travel. So that was my first experience in America. I like the level of the democracy there. And uh, there's not options to move there, move in America, in USA. But I want to because my sister there, she like make the documents, like she need to medicine extremely quickly, so she need to move there. Then she took a visa, make a visa, and stay there.
What would you do?
Asia,
Where would you go?
Asia.
Which
Uh,
country?
I think Thailand because many friends there. Let's do this spot where all Russians can move and live like with Russians, like an immigrant center. And I think it's like a 3 or 4 immigrant center in the world. Bali like that, and I think Thailand too now.
I have a comment on my channel before, like a few days ago. Someone asked me, like, how did those Russian people who are living in Asia, for example, how did they get money to live there, and what do they do there? And I answered this question like, people work remotely or they have savings.
That's a lot of Russians working in IT sector. So yeah, it's a good salary, and countries in Asia is not too high for living. So yeah, that's a good opportunity to live.
So my next question is about how do you Igor feel living in Russia? Like, because when I was abroad, I didn't know how will I feel here in Russia, and for me it was big decision about coming back here. So do you feel safe, and what is your feeling about being here now?
I'm feeling myself totally safe here. The warships on the background and the policemen in the streets of the center of Vladivostok. Nothing's bad gonna happen, but it's look like that. Indeed, it's looking. It's happened like you walking in the street and policeman can catch you and ask for name and surname, and if you didn't tell him that, take you to the police station and to the jail until 14 days. That's happening because they make fake orientation about you, like there is a local crime where suspicious looks like you. That's how they can take you to the jail for 14 days with no problem. Yeah, it's safely from the bandits and the bad things, because the policemen really react extremely good if something very bad happening, like a bomb or fire or blood. Another side of that, policemen can do themselves like a bandits, and if you're on the streets in the center, if you are the man, not the girl, because the girls are totally safe in that direction. If you're on streets and you are the man, you need to look around and not go where the cops are.
So you mean that police doing their job well, but at the same time they have too much power, so they can do something for you, right? In my experience, I didn't have any problems with that because I'm a girl, but I think for men it feels different.
I'm 32 years old, so they can't send me to the war. And guys who from 18 until 30, they extremely scary. Yeah, and if you once was in the army, like for training, because everybody can go to the army, and somebody asked to go into the army. And if you've been there, you're extremely in danger because once you've been there, you need to go there again. If you have no we have in Russia another kind of passport. We have our native passport, the 4H passport, and the men's have another kind of passport. It's like a war passport, war ticket. It's named. So war ticket. It's kind of military direction in politics in the schools. We how to say that the lesson, yeah,
Social safety.
yeah, social safety, and it's like how we need to do when the war come, like putting the gas mask on the face, and where we need to go, and how it will be happening. And for the men's, we also have a lesson named the labor, and on the labor we also shooting from the pistols, air pistols, like air rifles. And there was the contest who will the first construct and deconstruct AK-47 like Lego. There's like a 20 parts, and you need to construct that back, and how to throw the grenade. We all, yeah, we all the men make it on the labors. Most of us on the in the schools when we were like 16.
I can confirm that because in my school, in safety lesson, one day I totally can remember wearing a gas mask. It was our task, and AK-47. I have that too. Like we didn't train for time, but this is like what's really happening in Russian schools.
It's kind of strange because in USA you can keep the gun with you in some states, and in Russia it's very hard.
Another beautiful background. So my next question is, Igor, how do you think why some people cannot move from Russia, especially now it's like dangerous time here? How do you think why people cannot get out sometimes? Because some people commented on my channel as well, like you should go somewhere, but it's not really possible for all people. Like people have families here, and you have to remember that normally Russian people do not speak English at all. What do you think about it?
The young people, they can say basic words, but the oldest no. So it's hard to speak in English in Russia. There are maybe 10% of the population who can speak. They are not living because, sure, the family, if they are too young to move somewhere, the problem is the money. Average salary, how I said, is 1,000 per month. The ticket to Bali, for example, cost for me from Vladivostok 1,000 and half. And the work, not many people work remotely.
Also, I want to know about your experience being outside Russia as Russian. Like, did you have any problems, or what are the problems of Russian now who live abroad? Like, do they have any hate? Did you feel like support?
That was different places in world where the different opinions about Russians and situation. For example, in Bali, maybe 30% of Indonesians they are against the NATO. Yeah, that was shock for me too. And others they don't like the war, of course. Nobody like hate Russians except Eastern Europe. Other places I think it's normal. There is no like big problem with Russians. Nobody like canceling rooms in hotels if you are Russian. No, there's okay. Some people look at you, and in the dialogue they can ask about war and why you what's happening. They are interested.
Igor just said that our future is bright anyway because now it's too dark. I am agree with that. In one of my previous videos I told like I think it should get worse, even worse until it will get better again.
Yeah, I think the situation in Russia now is too surrealistic about all things in culture and political things. It's surrealistic.
So guys, I hope it was really interesting for you to listen one more person from Russia and his opinion. So thank you so much for staying with me until the end, and thank you Igor. Hope to see you again, and I will see you guys in my next videos. Bye bye.
Good luck.